Hey, thanks for tuning in. During this episode, you are going to get to hear all the deep dive of HYROX between me and my doubles partner. From the very beginning of when I asked her to be my partner, all the way through the ending and what we are up to now. Make sure you listen to the whole episode. That way you can get all the HYROX details. Giving a special shout out to our sponsor, Maximus Nutrition. If you are looking to boost your workout, whether that be, toning up or adding in that bulk, they can help you out with all the shakes, all the creatine, and all the protein, and so much more. You can find them over on Sunset Drive and Knickerbocker. Be sure to hit them up. Hello. Welcome back to Everything and the Gym. My name is Shelbi, if you do not know me, and recently I competed in a HYROX competition in Houston, and I have my partner with me here. I'll tell you her name in a second, but before I do that, I have to shout out our sponsors. So thank you to Training from the Ground Up, Crusaders Forge, and Maximus Nutrition. Make sure you hop on over and get one of those smoothies. All right. What is your name?
Chloe Graham.
And how old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Mm-hmm. And what do you do?
I'm a nurse. I'm a dialysis nurse.
Yeah. And you're a mama.
I'm a mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I did not know you before I asked you to be my HYROX partner.
Yeah, we talked like once.
Yeah.
I think you showed me how to roll out.
Oh, yeah.
Ball.
Yeah. I think I had given you a couple of stickers like maybe prior because I do that. But yeah, I had not a whole lot. Like, you looked like you were lifting and it looked like you could do whatever this was going to be, but honestly I had no idea what we were doing either.
Yeah, I was never like a competition person or thought I could be. I'm kind of nervous in front of a bunch of people, so it never like crossed my mind to do that. Yeah. Also, those two stickers are on my cup. So here's the first one you ever gave me, and this is the second one. Little turtle. The first one says think positive, get positivity.
Hey.
So yeah.
Wow, look at that.
And then you gave me that one, and probably over here too.
The amount of people that are like, oh, I put my stickers here, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You're
love
on my
stickers.
Kindle and you're on my phone. I'm like, Shelby's everywhere.
It's a good thing I have more stickers for you.
I'm excited.
Okay, so let's kind of dive into like what our training was like prior to HYROX, which was December and back. Yeah. What was your training like in the gym?
So I just kind of tried to familiarize myself with the actual HYROX workouts, and I started incorporating those with what I was already doing.
But before that, what were you doing? What was gym like for you?
Gym was, I hated push, so I never touched my arms.
Yeah.
Gym was a lot of leg and back for me. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays were my days off, so that was like all about legs. There was no other like energy that I needed to put towards work or whatever. Yeah. I could strictly just focus on that in the morning. And then my other days when I was working, if I was able to go to the gym, I would hit back or core or stuff like that. Never touched cardio, didn't do biceps really at all, or tried nothing with my arms besides like the pull that I got. But yeah, that was what it was before HYROX.
Yeah. It was similar for me in a sense of like the cardio. Like I was currently like working on like bulking up, and so I was going into like heavier weights, and I had like a good split, so it was like leg, chest, tri, back, bi, legs. Like it was fairly good, but like I never took time out of like my workouts to like go do cardio.
Yeah, because like I didn't like it, so for me it was really taking, in my head, it was taking time away from what lifting. I could be doing. Yeah, like the lifting, and it was putting it towards something that I was just not really interested or thought I needed. So
Yeah. So then my other workout partner, she kept sending me videos of HYROX, and she was like, this looks like something you would like enjoy. And I was like, oh. And then like the more I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, I could probably do that. And then that's when I was like, I asked her originally, and she's like, I am not doing that with you. And yeah, she's like, I am not doing that with you. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do it by myself because I just did not want to do it.
First time by yourself sounds just terrifying.
Yeah. And so, I was like, oh, she looks like she could do it.
Yeah, you came up to me and I was like stretching, I think, or I was doing some sort of core in a group fit. And you're like, have you heard of HYROX? Sat down like all excited, crisscross applesauce. And I was like, no, show me. And that's when you pull out the video. I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
And then we booked our tickets like immediately.
Yeah, the next week.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready if you are. Like,
yeah. And then we actually looked at it. And I like, my first thought was like, because it's 5 miles of running, like total.
Yeah. So I looked at it, and in my head, a kilometer, I didn't really realize what it felt like because I didn't do cardio.
Yeah.
So when we ran our first kilometer ever, I had to stop like twice.
Yeah.
I was like, what? How?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm okay to like continue this. Like, there's no way I can.
Yeah. That entire first like run through, we did all the events from the very beginning just to like get a feel of them. We didn't do the full distances though, did we?
No, I think we only did the full distance once. It's like with running.
Yeah.
The very last time.
Yeah. But anyway, we went through like the movements, and I remember that first week being like, oh man, I've got a lot of work to do.
And I was like a little terrified. Like I thought I was getting confident, but then adding the running in with the workouts, that's when I realized like, oh, this is going to be, there's a reason it looks like so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like the more we started running, the more I started having issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. My hip, and I'm still working on it. But yeah, then it like kind of discouraged me from the running. It was like, what could I be doing to like help? Because everybody will tell you HYROX is a running race, and now that I've done one, I will tell you HYROX is a running race.
It's a running race.
Yeah.
And we did not know that getting in.
Yeah.
We weren't runners.
Yeah. But like
that wasn't us.
Yeah.
But our bodies had to like adjust to that change. We were just lifting heavy stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But now we're moving, and we're moving fast, and our bodies are feeling pressure and feeling like just different endurance challenge.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we
yeah.
had to turn into runners for it.
Oh yeah.
And we have to continue to be runners for it. But as long as we can kind of like mess with your hip and like make sure it's okay and baby it, take care of it before we start adding more.
I think so. I will tell you, the assault bike is kicking my butt.
That thing is full, man. I need to get on it, but my God, a minute in and I'm humbled quickly. I'm quickly humbled.
Yeah, that's where a lot of my cardio is coming from right now, because it's like going into the event, like whatever I am practicing right now. Yeah, but okay. So, do you think we prepped enough for our first race?
The stations, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we prepped cardio as well as we could have.
Yeah.
Not knowing how it would feel.
Yeah.
I think now going into it, prep is going to look a little differently as far as cardio, especially like the amount of cardio we're doing and the frequency of doing the cardio. Gotta like up it.
Yeah.
But I think we did prep for what we
knew.
Thought we were walking into.
You guys, let me tell you, the burpees, I cannot tell you how many times we showed up to a workout and I was like, come on, we're doing burpees. It was like almost daily we were doing burpees, and there were days where I was like, I really don't want to do these, but I know that like it's going to benefit race day so much.
Yeah.
You guys, race day, we went to eat.
We filled those burpees. We sped. We went through it. Yeah. That was our station for sure.
So if you everybody complains about the burpees at everybody's like, oh, that's the worst. And I knew that going in, because that's all you see for social media is burpees are terrible. The burpees are terrible. Yeah. And so I was like, we're going to train them.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite event.
It was fun. Like
Yeah.
I remember looking forward so much to walking up to the squares on the floor.
Yeah.
And when the moment happened, I just remember like looking at me like, Shelby, it's the squares.
Yeah.
Like they're here.
Yeah.
But what was fun with those was that like training them, there were so many different ways to do like a burpee depending on how you want to. But training them was fun. Like working with like the little steps up here and there, and then like working with if you're doing like a full jump, if you're doing like a pause, it's just they were just fun to like tweak with too, so.
I feel like that was all events, because when we started we were just going, and then like over that course of 3 months we were like, oh, this might work, this might work.
You're like, hey, try this, see if you like this. So it was fun learning the events and just like I said, like elaborating on them, like learning more with them and playing more with them.
I will say I saw changes in my body within the training. Yeah. Like I put on more muscle. I was tracking my numbers, but I've also been like slowly like losing fat. And so like I'm starting to see like actual like muscle cuts, and like a lot of people have asked like, what have you been doing? And I'm like, HYROX. Like
it's a full body thing. And the thing with it too is like with whatever station you're doing, if you mentally kind of switch over your mind to what muscle you're using as you're going, you will feel that muscle work better, and like you will feel that muscle kind of take over. So like sled push, there's a moment of sled push. I feel like I do it almost like routinely every time, where my legs are like giving out, so my shoulders kind of lock into place differently, and my upper kind of takes the momentum over to keep going. I
actually have an answer to a question we were talking about with sled push.
Okay, I need another question for sure.
So you know how we talked about like the different placements like on the height of the thing?
Yes.
Okay, so the lower you go, you're working your glutes.
Okay.
The higher you go, you're working like your quads, like up on the sled. And so like it's finding like which muscle is going to be like your biggest asset in that sled push. So if your glutes are stronger, like adjust your hands. If your quads are stronger, adjust your hands, and it'll help you.
That's weird, because then that plays with the angle of your back and your core too.
Yeah, little things you learn.
A little try. It's weird though. It is kind of uncomfortable. I have tried to do that grip that we see on the videos where they're kind of like wrapped around and hugging it with your arm. It's tough. Like that weight on your shoulder and on this whole area is like, it's just a lot. My arms aren't that big. So like, just that pressure of that weight.
That's why I didn't do it like that.
Yeah, I kept it hurt here. And we moved with it. But I love the push, man. Yeah. It's one of my favorite ones. Yeah, like, you're good at it. Even to this day, like just adding those into my leg day. Oh, I just feel them so. Yeah. it's just perfect. Yeah. A perfect little leg work. Oh.
Okay, we'll get back into events in a little bit.
Events took over.
So exciting. Okay, so we had to go through like trial with hair as well. I remember saying like, especially like after our runs, I'd be like, I can't do this with my hair down my back. Yeah. It would be like stuck to my back, and I'd be like, I can't do this. And so Patty actually, she was like, you should do 2 little buns. And so like I remember like working on the braids and like trying to make sure like the correct way for the buns to you had to try something new too.
Yeah, so like before this, my hair wasn't like normally like slicked back with a bun, but then if I run like that, my hair, it's out. Like the bun is everywhere. I'm a mess. My front bangs are just like terrible and sweaty and gross and everywhere. So I was like, well, let's do a ponytail for sure, but I don't want my hair everywhere on my back. Yeah. So I was like, all right, we're gonna braid it. Yeah. I just played with it and then added some of that like hair glue stuff or whatever, the hair stick glue. I don't know.
Yeah, you were like, look what I got, and I was like, I've never used that. It was like
seen it.
Yeah, it was like
used it either.
Stick glue almost, but for your hair.
It's like wax. Cool. It's like a wax stick or something. Hey, it worked. It did the job. I'll definitely want to like do something different next time, but we'll coordinate that for sure. Yeah.
And then there's outfits that we had to coordinate.
Yeah. And we also have outfits possible. Are we thinking about it still? I don't think I could.
The green?
Yeah, but are we going to do like a green and black theme?
Yeah.
Like the whole Shigo thing?
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to show up, show out.
Shigo HYROX.
Yeah, Shigo.
Yeah. I remember though, like you and I were sending links back and forth to each other
For a
of
while
like,
for everything.
yeah, I like these shorts. I like this one. I like this sports bra. Like,
Yeah.
it went back
Like
and
the
forth.
bags, the support. Even there's like laces. We were doing those
Yeah.
for a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
remember these laces?
Yeah.
Oh, I love our laces.
I still have mine in my shoes.
Yeah, I put my second pair on my Nikes.
Yeah.
And I love them. I
Yeah.
look down, it just reminds me of like, oh,
HYROX. Okay, so let's kind of talk like the week before HYROX. We did do an entire run through
yeah.
with like what we had equipment wise,
Mhm.
and we ran it in 1 hour and 25 minutes,
Mhm.
which was honestly, I was very proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
I remember us sitting down and being like, oh my God.
Yeah. We did all the run, all the events. Yeah. I felt good.
Yeah, I felt great.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, even the runs, I thought I felt great.
Oh, I was crying during some of them, to be honest, though.
I feel like
Yeah.
towards the end we were okay. And I do
Yeah.
feel like you had a little like,
My hip was
or like
like,
towards the beginning we were
yeah.
good, and like in the middle, I think your hip was
Yeah.
starting to get mad.
I was getting mad too because I was like, oh, I was like so
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, we were close. We were in the whole like run through, and then we also like knowing that the next thing after that to do
Is, like-
was the race.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember.
Yeah, I was not thrilled with that. But other than that, like 125 was awesome for like a
Yeah.
run through. Yeah. And then we ended up going to TrueFit to try their sleds. And we have to talk about your shoe problem.
Oh, I was so angry because like I knew what the issue was, but I guess I didn't know what the solution was. My issue was my heel was coming out of the shoe because
Yeah.
on the sleds, my toes were the thing of my foot basically being my anchor. So every time I would push off, my heel just slowly started slipping, and on like the fourth push, it
Your
was
shoes were off.
out. And I was so frustrated because I knew I was capable. Like I loved that push.
Yeah.
I loved doing it. I knew I could do it. I knew I was strong enough. I could have kept just like zooming through it.
Yeah.
But the shoes were making me mad. And those were also shoes I had bought because they were comfortable for running. So I was like, I just got these shoes. They're failing me.
Yeah.
So yeah, we
Yeah.
turned around and went right to
It was like
Skechers.
it was like that Sunday before.
It was
before we
terrifying,
raced.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you ran race in like new shoes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 But hey, they stayed on. They
Yeah.
helped me out, but I don't know if I'm using it for the next one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to be HYROXy. I
Yeah.
want to join that train and get the HYROX shoes.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, HYROX has merch, and so they have like a whole line of shoes and athletic wear. Yeah, it's actually really cool.
Cool, the bright green.
Yeah.
The orange ones are pretty cool.
The orange
though.
ones were too. You should buy the yellow, and I'll buy the orange, and then we'll trade because we're the same shoe
Yeah, we can
size.
do 1 and 1.
Yeah.
Deal.
Deal. Okay, so let's talk race weekend. That way we can like actually dive in. So I'm gonna talk about Friday morning.
Okay. I knew, I watched the video you posted of our
Yeah.
HYROX weekend. And when it wasn't there, I was like, she's going to bring it up in the podcast.
Yes, I am.
It's going to happen. I know it. There's no way that's going to go untouched. Like that problem or that
Yeah.
situation, it's going to be talked about.
You guys, I wake up so early in the morning. Like, we had decided that we were going to meet at HEB at 7.
Like 7:15.
Yeah,
right after
7:15. And so it's like 5:30 and I text and I was like, good morning, like it's leaving day.
Yeah.
No answer. And then it's like 6:30 and I haven't heard anything. And so I'm like texting and I'm calling and then I'm calling Scott and I'm like, somebody answer the phone. Nobody is answering the phone. And so it gets to be like 7:10 and my husband is like, well, what do we do? And I was like, we're going to their house. Come on. And so we drive over there and I'm like, what if like they got carbon monoxide poisoning or
all these terrible things.
Yeah. And we get to her house and I was like, oh, the doorbell will wake the dog up. So I ring the doorbell. The dog starts barking, but nobody gets up. So I'm like knocking. And then all I see is like through the window.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. So Lincoln was awake from, I think it was like 1:30 or 2 until like 5:15. And this 2-year-old is at the stage right now where sleep is not his friend. Nighttime sleep is not his friend. He wants to stay up. He wants to jump on everything. He wants to have so much fun. He's not ready to sleep. So he was up. He woke up. He didn't want to go back to sleep. And I remember I went to the couch. I was like, I need to sleep. Scott was like, go sleep on the couch. It's okay. He'll fall asleep in here. So I went to the couch, fell asleep, got a little bit of rest. And then I remember knocking. I remember loud knocking and Clyde. And I was like, what is going on? And immediately, like, loud knocking, I'm kind of nervous. And I'm like, like, what's happening? I don't know what time it is. And then I heard Lincoln, and Lincoln was like, Shelbi. And I turned and I looked at the clock on the stove, and it was like 7:30. And I was like, oh, no. Like, oh, no. We got up. You were there. I was like, okay, like, let me get ready really quick. We're leaving. Well, it was so bad. I felt, and we saw to change, get Lincoln to daycare. Good. It was just, it was a quick wake up and a quick, like, go.
Yeah, because it was a long drive. It was like 6 hours.
It was 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still did Meow Wolf, though, and I'm so glad we did Meow Wolf. If you guys have never been to Meow Wolf, there are 5 different locations, and I prefer to tell everybody about it.
What an experience.
Yeah.
Like, I can't experience a reaction like that unless I feel like I'm only in Meow Wolf.
Yeah.
Like, what am I looking at? What is around me? Look over here. Like, it was so neat. It was just like, I don't know.
I told you, like, I can't explain Meow Wolf. Like, you have to experience it for yourself. It's like an art museum, but like off the walls, like literally, like, art is like hanging from the walls, and it's interactive everywhere. And you're like immersed into a world. It's so cool.
Yeah, I feel like everywhere you look, it's almost like a different piece of art. Every room is just a different thing. And you said like local artists did that stuff. Right? That's so cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Yeah, so we did that Friday, and then we went to sleep, woke up Saturday morning, and this was like HYROX experience day. Yeah. Like for 2 beginners that have never even like been to a race, like Saturday was overwhelming.
This was it. Like, it was so cool though.
Yeah.
I felt like I was stepping into a different.
Oh yeah.
I almost felt like I didn't like, not that like didn't belong, but in my head I was definitely like, am I really like next to these people, and are they really running the same race I am about to be running? Like, it's kind of crazy. It was in a convention center, and this convention center had 3 different events going on. Oh my God, the people, the different diversity of scene.
Yeah, and so they had HYROX in this convention center. They had a oddities and commodities center, which was more of like your darker people that like wear all black and
the just crazy hair, like the long black skirt, like chains. I'm like, oh, like what are we over here with? Like,
and then it was also mixed with a bridal convention, and so you've got these people wearing like these veils, and so like when we enter into like this convention center, there are people everywhere.
Yeah,
and like you enter in on the 2nd floor too, and like.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like one of the main entrances was that sky bridge.
Yeah.
So you're seeing, like, as you're walking, you're just seeing
all
like,
these people.
A bride, and then like a vampire, and then an athlete. Like, it's just, it was, Yeah.
And then I remember there was a girl going to the bathroom, and I was like, did you see her quads?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we passed her, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
Just like tree trunks.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
And then there were windows that we could like go to like look down, and that was wild too.
Yeah.
Like
those are really cool. I did like those.
We got to that and I was like, oh my goodness, take me down there right now. Yeah. And then we went downstairs after that. I have never seen so many people in my life.
No, like the second we get down, and it's the registration. No, it's not registration. Yeah. It was just like the sign in for observers or like the spectators.
Yeah.
And that area was right in front of this huge banner that had all the HYROX cities. So people were taking pictures right there. You had all the spectators, the families. Yeah. Like that little section was just
packed.
A bunch of people.
Yeah. So and nobody's telling you, like,
no.
if you're looking for spectators, there's no signage. Like, they're like, oh, nothing. It was overwhelming.
Yeah. You basically just like see little snippets to the arena, I guess. Yeah. The main center.
Yeah.
And then everywhere else, you just have to kind of like find signs if you can, like the registration sign, which was not even like up. It was like, what, 3-4 feet?
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah.
It was chaos.
Well, okay, and so when you're waiting in the spectator line, you got to do like the QR code, and they give you a band, and your band is different every day that you go to spectate. But like we had no idea, so you and I got spectator bands because if you're an athlete, you don't need a spectator band. If you're an athlete, you don't need a spectator band. So just take that.
If you do a HYROX, don't get a spectator pass, because I did.
Yeah.
Don't do it. And you have your own color wristband for the weekend for your run.
Yeah. But okay, so we figure out spectatorship, and then I remember like we tried to get a picture, which we did get a picture, but still so many people. There were 9,000 athletes competing that weekend.
Yeah.
9,000. And then if you add in like support systems, so you've got family and coaches and teams that are like coming to support, it's so many people.
Yeah. I mean, just adding one person per person, you're already at 18,000. Yeah. But people walked in there with groups.
Oh, yeah.
Whole groups.
Yeah.
So
it
was a lot.
So then we go to like the HYROX area, and people are running like laps around the outside of the arena, and so you have to cross. And so there are security guards there that are they security guards? Maybe.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah. Anyway,
I feel like I remember security on their vest.
They're directing traffic basically. Yeah. So they're letting the runners like go by, and then when there's a good moment, they let people cross. And you're like, whoa. And like all we can see at this point is people running. And I just remember being like, do you see this?
Yeah, we just saw the people running. We didn't see really any of them. We saw the run, and the next thing, if you try to look past, was the store.
Yeah.
You don't see the events or the comp, you just see them coming. And you waiting, kind of just like observing, like, where is it then?
And then once we got like past the laps, we went and followed, we went and found the events to see like where everything was and how it raced out. And then we looked at the map. The map is confusing. Make sure you look at it beforehand.
Pay attention to your numbers.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. I almost went to, I think, station 3 instead of 2 for that second, or vice versa, something like that.
Make sure you're counting.
Make sure you're counting. Make sure you're looking at everything. Yeah.
And then we decided, because we wanted to watch women's double pros, their weight is heavier, and so we had told ourselves that, because we didn't know anybody else competing, and so we told ourselves that we were going to pick a couple of doubles partners and follow them through the whole race.
This was also when we did think there was a certain criteria to meet for pros. Yeah. Just a preface there. We thought
you had to be top 15% to qualify to be in pros. Yeah. I don't know where I got this information.
It seemed right.
Yeah, it
seemed like just it fit in my head.
Yeah, the stuff that I was reading, I don't know, I just felt like you had to be top 15%, and so we were like, okay, we're gonna like watch these pros. Yeah. Which of course there were pros in there. They're like straight up professionals. But we had picked a couple of people, and there was one group that stood out to us. And we ended up talking to them after their race, and they were like, oh yeah, that was our first HYROX. And I was like, what?
Yeah, we're like, what do you mean?
And
what do you mean?
They were like, yeah, we just booked pro tickets. So apparently, even if you've never done a HYROX, you can book professional tickets. But the deal with this is your weight is higher. So you're practicing with like heavy weight.
Yeah, it's not even like a little bit higher.
It's almost double.
It's the men's weight.
Yeah.
And it's almost double.
Yeah.
Yeah. If not some of them double.
Yeah.
But I was convinced that they were
They
pros.
looked professional.
They did it, and they did amazing.
Yeah.
They did so good.
Yeah. Whoa, those words. All while we are watching these professionals, my husband is like, there's a CrossFit like champion here. She's won 7 CrossFit games. And I was like, yeah, right. Like,
You lie.
he was like, I keep hearing her name over the announcement, which was Tia Claire Toomey.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I keep hearing it. And I was like, it can't be. And he's like, no, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then as we got like closer, Jake was like, we got to go. We got to go find her. That's her. And so he took off somewhere. I don't remember where he went to like try and find her. But you, me, and Scott went to the wall balls to like go in the risers to see if we can find her. And she's like coming up on wall balls.
Yeah, we saw her run in.
Yeah.
Like, we saw her and her partner run in. Which
Yeah.
was super cool, because then everyone got hype. And
Yeah.
that announcer was spectacular with all of that. It was so cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of people cheering her on in
Yeah.
that area. She ended up breaking the world record with her doubles partner at 54 minutes and 24 seconds.
What?
It is so fast. And then I watched her little documentary on like why she was going to CrossFit, or why she was going from CrossFit to HYROX. She was saying that their laps were close to 3 minutes every time. 3 minutes. You guys, that is getting it.
That's ours.
In
cut
half. Yeah.
That's one lap. That was one of
Yeah.
our laps.
Yeah. Getting it. Practice your running.
It's all the running.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder, okay, she's a CrossFitter. I wonder what it looked like for her to start incorporating running, and how long it took her to get comfortable with doing, I guess,
That
like the
much.
whole run through.
Yeah.
Like with the workout, and then speeding up her running.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what it took and what she did. She
Yeah.
had to have just probably, I don't know, I guess like anyone, like start trying and then just
Yeah.
add more and more and more and
Like
practice.
incremental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Whew. Yeah. All right.
crazy. It was so cool to experience.
It was cool. And then it was just cool to be there, like watching other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like we even saw like disabled and like elderly. Like this race was straight up for everybody.
So that, I don't know if, you remember, she was in a wheelchair. She was going with us. She had someone with her the whole time.
Yeah.
I think I came across her Instagram.
I think I did too.
And did you see the time? Her
Yeah.
6 minute 40.
Yeah.
Imagine doing all of that physical endurance work for 6.5 hours.
Yeah. Nonstop.
I was like, I told Scott, I said, I can't even imagine. I was like, I could not.
Yeah.
Go her.
Yeah.
Ridiculously like proud of her. Don't even know her, but I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Like that is,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Yeah. It's not an easy race. So even anybody that crosses that finish line,
Yeah.
like,
But to have like all that toll on your body already, and then
Yeah.
adding all the stations,
Yeah.
the laps, and just going and not stopping, like,
yeah.
not quitting.
So that's a mental game.
It's
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me rewind this real quick. Let's talk about like heats, because so the race time starts at 7 a.m.
yeah.
and it goes until like 9 o'clock at night. And there is people on equipment at all hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is not 1 second where the floor is just like empty.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Open
and
to close, start to finish.
they are releasing heats into the pool of athletes every 10 minutes. So one heat goes, 10 minutes later, another heat goes. They've got it timed out to a T.
Yeah. They have the stations timed perfectly.
Yeah.
I will say you can definitely tell when a heat is starting, because if a heat was starting and we were in a lap during that, or especially if a heat was starting and we were like coming out of our station going back into the runs, and you're either right in front or right behind, there's just a whole like herd
Group of people.
that are running towards you,
and
you gotta merge and weave and make your way through. But the heats, it's release.
So crazy how many people. I will stand by that every time.
There's people every no
even
shade.
just like spectating and like following people through like their race, like you're bumping into somebody every time.
We were, when we spectated, trying to get through and trying to find our people too.
And a spot.
It was tough.
No BS training for muscle growth. Alpha Progression is just the go-to app. You can track all of your workouts. You can put in the equipment that you have in your gym, see over a length of time if those workouts are working for you. And guess what? There is an algorithm that can also give you ideas. This app is 100% science-based. Learn from real personal trainers and bodybuilders. For 20% off, go to alphaprogression.com/everything and the gym. All right, so let's hop into like actual race day. So we did not watch anybody race day.
No.
We had it planned out where we went and ate breakfast, which was so good. I don't remember what that place was called, but we ended up eating. I had French toast and eggs or bacon. I can't remember. I had some kind of protein. Yeah. You had French toast too, right?
Yeah,
and
I got
bacon.
French toast and bacon.
Yeah. But yeah.
It was so good.
It was good.
A great start.
Yeah. And then we just went and hung out on the second floor of the convention center. We stretched, we rolled out, we took our foam rollers, we took balls, and it was just like a chill little hangout. Yeah.
It was nice. We got to kind of like lay there, and like for a while, I just remember like, I don't know, I could breathe. It felt like it wasn't race day, but it was like, I wasn't nervous for it or like checking my phone, like what time is it? Okay, this is this.
There was excitement behind it though too. It was like, oh,
I guess like as it got, when it was time to like eat our last snack, our last meal.
Things got a little anxiety for me.
I think that's when I started like peeking. I was like, okay, let's wake up.
We have to talk about the bathrooms in this instance because I'm slightly traumatized from the bathrooms.
I wasn't until race day.
So first off, the bathroom lines, like all the bathroom lines, there were like 6 different bathrooms in our area, like upstairs and downstairs. The lines are atrocious.
Yeah.
Like
out of the bathroom.
You're waiting like 15 minutes, maybe more. To go to the bathroom. And so like all throughout the weekend I would go to the like we'd stand in these lines and I would get in there and I'd like need to go to the bathroom and I couldn't because I knew all of these people were waiting. And so there were multiple times on race day where we were like, we're going to go to the bathroom. Like you and I even like jogged a little bit and then we stopped to go to the bathroom. I could not go to the bathroom. Or no, I did go in that one. I had to ask for toilet paper. I was like, somebody give me
too over,
paper.
so I couldn't help you. And I was like, I hope this lady next to her helps her out.
Somebody helped me. But then I remember we decided that we were going to go to the bathroom again. And I had to go again. And we go into the bathroom and I'm sitting there and I couldn't go.
Oh my God. I didn't know this.
Yeah, I couldn't go. And so I was like, okay, it'll be all right. And so finally it's time for us to like go to the warm-up section. And we are, like warming up and we try all the events and I was pleasantly surprised that they were easier than what I thought they were going to be. Like sled pushes were fairly easy, sled pulls. And I was like, oh, we got this. We're good.
I remember pushing it and turning around. You and me both. I feel like we were like, is this it?
Yeah.
Is this
right?
Is this the weight? And then we pulled and we were like, when we pulled, our sled was like yanked with us. And I was like,
is that right?
Is this okay?
Yeah. But I remember like we got done with that and then you're like, I could go to the bathroom again. And I was like, yeah, me too. I was like, we got time. We don't have to be in the tunnel until 2:10. That's what we thought.
Yeah, that's what we thought. 2:10, we have to be in there.
In the tunnel.
No.
And so it's like 2:00 and I was like, okay, come on, we got time. And so we go to the bathroom. The first bathroom we go to, the line is
okay.
long.
We thought though that we could go in the steakhouse. Do you remember? Because the whole weekend we found a little loophole.
Yeah.
We were going in the steakhouse restaurant to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But race day, right before, we try to walk in and they're like, no, everyone leave. And that's when we were like, okay, first one.
Yeah. So we go to another bathroom and she was like, it's down, you got to go down these stairs. And so we go down these stairs. And I remember asking, like, we were running.
And
I remember
up and down these halls.
And I remember asking somebody, I was like, do you know what time it is? And they were like, it's like 2:04 or 2:06. And I was like, we gotta go. And so
we could not. You said, I don't think we're gonna make it. And I was like, yeah, no.
And so we're like running down the hallway to make it back into the warm-up area to like the tunnel area, and then we're just like chilling. Yeah, we're we have a few minutes before it's 2:10 and we're just like hanging out, like newbies. And then you were like, well, we're supposed to be in that tunnel. And I was like, wait, what? And so we
I saw like the time. They have a time ticking down in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And then outside of the tunnel, they have like the clock, like the time.
Yeah.
And I think it said like 2:06. And then the time in the tunnel was like 3 minutes and 40 something seconds. And I was like, wait, if I add that correctly, that's 2:10 and that's our time. Let's go back because I think we're supposed to be in there.
Yeah, so they write your time on your arm. And so we show these people and they're like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be in the tunnel. And I was like, because we almost missed it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if like you get to race if you miss your time. Do you?
Do you get like do you have to just take the penalty and like start with the next heat and take like a 5-minute penalty?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, we should look that up. But
don't miss your time.
I have since read that you should be in the tunnel 10 minutes before like your actual race time. 10 minutes.
Noted.
Yeah.
So our time minus 10.
Yeah.
And that's what.
Yeah.
Arrival in the tunnel.
But the tunnel was so cool. Like they are like playing this music and it's like all the hype music and there's a motivator in there and they're like
super
motivating
cool.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that like they would be in there, but she was going through like breathing with us.
Yeah.
And encouraging the people next to you and hyping up everybody. I was like, this is nice. Like she's telling us, like she's being really beneficial to me and not just my mental, but like she's making me close my eyes and like breathe.
Yeah. But also from what I've read, we missed instructions on how to actually run the race. And so that's why I say don't miss your briefing because yeah.
I wonder if they went over like the laps before.
Probably. Yeah.
I've seen everywhere for that weekend. It was, and like I talked to like my friend who ran in his little group, and everyone was saying that how it was described was like you see the end sign 3 times. Like when you go for that race specifically, this is not every HYROX. But like for that one for us, we would pass it coming out of the out. So that'd be the first time passing and then one, pass it again, and then in.
Yeah, they have tunnels that tell you which event is what event and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, so we get out of the tunnel. We run our first one in 5 minutes and 27 seconds.
Yeah.
It was kind of like unpredictable because we were like, oh, how far is this? Like, what does this feel like? Mm-hmm. But like, I felt like once we had done those first 2 laps, I could be like, okay, this is what it feels like. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we got to ski erg. We have to talk about it.
Eyes ski erg. I'm going to make ski erg the thing that I feel most confident on the next one because it's the one that it got me at the very beginning.
Yeah. We did ski erg in 4 minutes and 28 seconds. And out of 795 people, we came in 127th, which isn't terrible.
It's pretty good.
It's top 20%. Yeah. But, okay, so let's talk about ski erg. I can't remember. You went first. No, I went.
I think you went
I went first, yeah. Which I felt okay, but then you got into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so my thing was the ski erg I felt good doing. I think when I started feeling iffy was at the end of the second time I did it, the final 250 or however we split it. I think we did 200, 3, 3, 250.
Yeah.
Or
We talked about 2-3-3-2.
2-3-3-2, yeah. So we did that for that one for sure. The last of the two of my 200, at the very end, I was like I'm getting really winded.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the first event. I'm already like feeling pretty bad. But I do remember feeling myself changing my form.
Yeah.
And I was doing it. And I went from doing this like kind of smoother, not slowed, but like a smoother motion to my whole top, like core up was now going down with the erg.
Yeah.
And I think just that like huge up and down motion, I caught like winded, nauseous, dizzy.
Yeah.
So we also didn't have a ski erg to practice with like routinely.
Yeah.
We did it once. So
I am going to give a little tip for this one, but in the training for coaching, it says that if you practice on your knees, it gives you the correct like form.
Yeah. You can't go all the way on your, like, your core can't go all the way down if you're on your knees.
Yeah. So practicing form with on your knees. That's a tip.
Okay.
But then, so I remember we got done with this and you were like, dude, I'm not okay. And I was like, we still have a whole race to run.
So first of all, I felt so bad. I was like, why am I about to be like exhausted like this right now?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt bad because like I also knew that we had the running, like we just had done it. We had it in the bag. Like why was I like there's no way this could be happening. But physically I thought I was going to pass out. I thought I was going to throw up. I thought I was about to just like, my chest was going to like explode, all the things. So
did any of that go away?
Honestly, I think it did, but I was just exhausted at that point with the runs. But it went away during, I think it was like the second lap.
Yeah.
Around. I was like, okay, I'm not so dizzy anymore. And then when we got to the sleds, I was
better. Yeah,
I think I felt the familiar. I cannot say that word today, but I was familiar with the motions again, not like the running. Yeah. So it kind of got me back into gear. Yeah. But I was terrified. I was like, I don't want to let you down, right? Yeah. I don't want to let us down. I don't want me down. Like we were here, we were pumped and we were confident. We trained forever. Yeah. I was like, this is not happening. Like, this can't happen.
But we saw multiple people that were not okay on the sidelines, like multiple medics and like.
Yeah, there was one group that they were next to us in the tunnel, and we were kind of keeping up with them pretty well. And I think it was like maybe the fourth station. They were on the side with the medic. They were in the light blue color. Yeah. But I remember being like, oh, like. Yeah. I thought they looked pretty solid.
Like, yeah. It's just crazy. Okay, so then we run again, and then we get into sled push. Yeah, which we did in 1 minute and 33 seconds. But we came in 233rd.
I think
that's crazy.
That is crazy. For this one, honestly, though, for all of them, it's a matter of seconds.
It's
a matter of milliseconds.
I thought we were getting it, though. Like, it was because we saw so many things about the push being heavier. And people are like, train heavier because they're heavy. And we got over there and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I thought we were getting it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was excited. I think we still did.
We did well. It's just crazy.
Super well.
People were that much faster than us.
Like, those people had to have been like jogging it. Yeah. Not stopping. Because I think our pace was consistent. Great. We were great. It was a good switch off. I don't think we had any points where we were like, oh, dude, I can't. Like, it was a good steady. That was a good station. Yeah. I love the push, man. I love push. Yeah. I love it. It's in all my leg days. Like, I load the sled up. I just go with it. I love it.
I feel like we balance each other out pretty well for like station wise. Yeah.
I think we do too.
Yeah. Cause like pool is one of my favorites. Let me eat.
Yeah. Pool's fun. Yeah. We'll talk about our pool.
Yeah. We had issues with our pool. So our rope kept getting like wrapped around the front foot area.
Like the carabiner was like weirdly angled so that the rope was like twisted. Yeah. And our sled was twisted.
And it kept going into somebody else's lane. And I had read so many things about like if your lane or if your sled or your rope goes into somebody else's lane, like you're like going to get penalized for it. And so like as a beginner, I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I get it like back over here? And so instead of like putting my mind to like power. It was like maintenance almost.
Yeah.
Trying to like just keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we were trying to like pull to the angle that it needs to go at. And at one point you just ran.
Yeah, I ran
like,
over
I'm
there.
Fixing it.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to just get it done. It did it for like all of them. I think all of our laps are like not laps, but back and forth. Yeah, I think it did it for like 3 out of the 4. Yeah. And I remember being like, I turned to you like during my pull, and I was like,
"What do we do?
What the heck? Like, it's not cool."
Yeah.
But
we did pulls in 3 minutes and 33 seconds, which was good.
What was our place?
162.
Pretty good.
Yeah. But we're going to talk about burpees because I'm telling you guys, we practice these burpees, and I had told you I was going to do like 6 or 7 because I was excited. And I remember like we had just got done on our laps. We came in the end tunnel, and I was like, breathe. Like, I'm going to breathe. Like, we're going to like walk to that because the tunnel, like the burpees was right there.
Yeah. As soon as you go in the inn.
Right there.
Swears.
And so I was like, walk and breathe. And we get to the front, and I'm like, let's go. And then, we just took off. Mm-hmm. They felt amazing. By far my favorite event.
I think we were just like chilling with them.
Yeah.
I remember like, so you go down one, and then you kind of like turn the corner and you go down that one. When I finished off that one, I got up, and I literally remember like cheering with the little like ref person right there, and I was like, yes, like we got it. And they're like, good job, like y'all are killing it. And we just kept going, and it was just like
which I'm glad we practiced the step, because the burpee and then stepping up to your foot instead of like jumping up to your foot, that one, it saves so much energy.
Yeah. I loved that feeling. So like when I step up, I feel kind of like the foot I'm stepping up is my right one. It kind of feels like light until I barely, like I tap it, and then it helps me like lift off. The thing is though, I have like a wide stance burpee right now. I need to practice my narrow, because my wide stance burpee looks so awkward. I feel like, and it's just like, it gets done. Yeah. But I'm like, oh my God, I hate it.
If you guys don't know, if you have a doubles partner, you get to split the event times. And so like, we'll talk about it with Farmer's Carry because you blew it away, but we'll get to that one.
One of the ones we do balance out really well what we like and don't.
Yeah. Okay, so in burpees, I am so proud of this, and I am going to flaunt this around every time.
There you go.
Okay, so burpees, we did it in 2 minutes and 59 seconds, and we came in 58th out of 795 people. That's top 7% for burpees.
God.
When I said burpees paid off, they paid off. Yeah. Like, that's such a win.
And you walked in there wanting to own burpees. You walked into this whole thing wanting to own burpees. You said, people hate them. I'm going to, like, make myself love them. And you did. And 7% is ridiculous with how many people. With anything. But 7% is just crazy.
Yeah. So let's go burpees. I'm ready. Impressed. I'm ready for Dallas for the burpees, honestly.
I know. I feel like we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
I feel like Dallas is going to be really fun.
Yeah. Okay, so then we go into rowing. This number shocked me. We rowed, our time was 5 minutes and 17 minutes, and we placed 445th out of 795.
That was our lowest one.
Yeah.
Right?
That was it. It wasn't like hard. I just felt like it took forever.
I switched an extra time, which was not. We switched actually 2 extra times, if you want to be real, because I still finished it. Like we switched the last 100 too. That kind of took seconds, obviously, but it was tough. I knew rowing was gonna I had a suspicion it was gonna just get me with the cardio. That's cardio all day. So cardio. Yeah, there's no way. But it took forever. Yeah. It took forever.
Now that I have done like the training to be a coach for it, I know better breathing techniques. Okay. Which we'll work on.
Yeah.
But
I think I just did row.
Row was a mess. But okay, so let's get into farm.
You though, ma'am. You had a blast with your row, and I loved watching back the video because here's my perspective. I was behind you. You were singing, right? Yeah. Smile. But I saw the back of your head going like this. Or like a no, and I was like, if you need a switch, switch. Like we're good. Yeah, but you were just singing, and I was like, oh.
They were playing great music, and I was like, well, if we're gonna be here and we're gonna be miserable, because like I teach ride too, and so I don't know. I was like, it's like the same thing. We're just gonna have fun with it, which it was fun. Yeah, they had
phenomenal.
great
We were
music.
jamming. We were dancing on some of our runs.
Yeah.
I remember like coming on a corner, like flying through, and I was like, yes,
Yeah.
this is so fun.
So vibey. There were a lot of people like dancing on their runs too.
Yeah. People had so much fun there. But
There was one song that came on during one of our runs, and it was the "Live Fast, Die Young,
Yes.
Bad Girls Do It Well," and I was like, yeah, yeah.
I like ran into the mic just now. I said,
Bloopers.
my whole chin just bopped it.
Farmers. Okay, so you dominated Farmers Carry. Out of
love me
like the
Farmers.
200 meters of Farmers Carry, I'm pretty sure you did like 150 of it.
I love me the farmers.
Yeah.
They're fun.
It is my least favorite. I like something about running with that much weight. It's like 30 pounds in each hand, and
Yeah.
like running with that, you feel so like I don't know.
I just like let them clunk. Like,
Yeah.
I just run and let my arms kind
Yeah.
of go. And like at a certain point, I'll try to stabilize. But
You
I just-
killed it.
I love them.
Yeah.
They're just like, it's just our love for like the certain stations. I was just ready. I walked up and I was like, getting the chalk on your hands.
Yeah.
The feeling of just like,
It's time.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
For either like the push or the pull or.
Yeah.
I loved that. But the farmers were fun
Yeah.
too.
You can have that one next time too.
Cool. cool.
Okay, lunges. We ate at lunges. I went into lunges too, being like, come on,
Yeah.
let's go. Which lunges for open women's was only 20 pounds, which like we were training with like 30 pounds, 40 pounds. Like we were training it heavier. And I will say it did pay off because we were breezing by people.
Yeah. Well, you also have to think too, like before this, remember, I was kind of like a leg dominant workout person. I was already doing like reverse lunges all the time.
Yeah.
And we were already like sumo squatting, lunges, leg press. I was doing all these movement workouts that replicated the lunge. So I think we were like already well prepped for lunges.
I will say though, we did wear shorts, and like every time I have practiced the lunges, you have to touch knee to ground. And every time every time we have like showed up to lunges and I am wearing shorts, my knees are like almost bruised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't
for
bad,
Wednesday.
but like I just remember like the next day being like, yeah, I did lunges.
Yeah. The turf at crunch that we would use, that was
it ripped my
bad.
knees.
Yeah, I hated them.
Yeah.
It hurt.
Yeah. All right. So out of lunges, we did that one in 3 minutes, and we came in 90th out of 795.
These double digit placements.
Yeah. I'm proud of that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So going into wall balls, I feel like our wall balls were fairly good.
You slayed wall balls. You did amazing on your wall balls. I just remember like counting with the counter and being like, dude, she is killing this. Like, she's taking over.
Remember before training, because like you see all these videos of like if you want to do wall balls like all the way through, like you've got to like practice it. And so I like before we went like the weeks prior, I was doing like 30 to 40 wall balls like continuously. And then like I was at the point in my training where like I wasn't running because I was trying to conserve my leg. And so I was doing assault bike and wall balls connected to each other. So I already knew what it felt like to like show up to that station just like dead.
Yeah.
And then I was like, give me 30. And then I think I did 35 or something like that on one of them. Yeah.
I think your first one, you just knocked out a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our clicker guy was great.
He was awesome.
Yeah. He did comment a couple of times that like our form needed to be a little bit lower, but
Scott did tell me. Scott was like, y'all like really like, he said something about like our form or whatever. And he was like, y'all are like squatting low.
Yeah.
And he's like, the people next to you were not. My mom said the same thing too, because she watched the video and she was like, Chloe, those girls next to you like weren't squatting with y'all.
I think it just depends on the judges you get.
Yeah.
Because there are judges walking around checking form, making sure like you're doing what you're doing, and it just depends on who you get.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got to cross the finish line, which
that moment, dude.
That feeling is something that like I don't know if I've ever had like that kind of feeling before.
It was the moment.
Yeah.
It was the moment we were waiting for, like, not waiting for, but it was the moment of the goal has been
Complete.
we did it. Like, the goal has been like reached. It's here. It's right in front of us. Like, this is when it's happening.
Yeah.
And I remember just like looking at you and looking at our time and like the lights up there and not moving for a second because we just had an hour and 21 minutes of constant, continuous, hard movement.
Yeah.
So like stopping and seeing it and breathing, and like your eyes started tearing up, and I was like, oh my God, like we did it from the very first day, watching this video and now coming back, and we just completed it, and our time is amazing. And I was, oh my God,
awesome.
oh my God.
It was awesome. And I just feel like I was so proud because we beat our run through time like previously.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how fast that goes away. Because I remember, like, I was living on a high for a little while, but, like, then there were times, like, oh, we could have done this better, or we could have done that better. And I feel like we probably could have just lived in that moment, like,
a little longer.
I think that
I texted you then.
It was that night. Yeah.
That night. And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And like, I ruined the runs for us. Like, I truly did. I think it made me mad because I was confident, and I thought we had 120.
Yeah.
And before the race, during the like run through, even some of the actual like run, I remember you pass a clock every lap.
Yeah.
And I remember like taking our time in my head, and I was like, we got 120 in the bag. So that 1 minute, so if I had ran like 15 seconds faster, like if I was just so mad, like if I did skier like a little differently, you know. So like I texted you and I was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No. I think it was like also because we got our times that night too, and so it was like actually because they send you your like you can look up your time for each event, and so like seeing it was cool, but then seeing it was like, oh, like we could have fixed this, or we could have, but like I like overall though, like I'm so proud. Like we did really well for only training for 3 months.
It wasn't until I got in the car that I like I started to kind of like thinking critically, like more critically. Yeah. Let's add a new word to the dictionary. But I was like thinking more critical rather than like happy and joy and oh my gosh, we did it. Yeah. And I still kind of like kick myself a little bit because I don't know, man. I just think that like bugs me if I would have run like 10, 15 seconds. Yeah. And then times by however many laps, like, or even per like kilometer, like we would have had the 120. Like maybe we could have been in like 1 hour and like something with the one, you know, like something in the teens.
I think we have a very good probability of hitting 1 in teens in Dallas. Yeah.
I think we can 1 in teens Dallas for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a lot of time, and I'm just, I know running now that needs to be priority. Stations we got. Yeah. Honestly. It's the running that needs to just I just hate running still.
I haven't seen you since HYROX, since like we left race day. Like you guys stayed at the arena for just a little while, and Jake and I decided to like go get dinner and go home.
Yeah, so I remember like us being like bye.
What's next?
I guess I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you since then.
And we raced like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
What was it? Wow, we're in April, March 16th.
Yeah.
So half a month. 3 weeks.
Yeah, I remember though. Were you sore?
No.
You weren't sore? Like on Monday?
I worked out the next day. Yeah. And I rested the day before HYROX, did HYROX, and then I worked out the next 8 days. Yeah. And then I rested again. I think I was sore, but I wasn't sore to where a stretch, like a good 30 minutes, like I rolled out a lot the next day. I rolled out a ton that night. And I would roll out just randomly throughout the week, like at night, in the mornings, whenever. Like if I was hanging out with Lincoln and he was jumping around on the floor or like wherever, I would just be rolling. So it was nothing that rolling or stretching couldn't help. Yeah. So my soreness was, I could like definitely feed into the help of it. But I
think I made the mistake of us driving home because you guys didn't drive directly home.
No, we stopped
Yeah.
and stayed at my dad's, and that's where I rolled.
Yeah.
So we drove 3 hours. We stopped. I rolled for like an hour that
Yeah.
night. And then I went to bed. I showered, went to bed,
Yeah.
and the next morning we got up and we finished the 3 hours.
Yeah. Jake and I like left and we grabbed dinner and like was in the car for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I remember like my foot and like my calf area that I had issues with and my leg was just like throbbing. And I remember like I took Advil and like tried to sleep in the car because it was late when we got home. But like I remember waking up the next day and I was like, oh, like my legs were like
Not okay.
they were sore. And so like I rolled out the whole next day and just walked and then slowly started picking back up and like the athlete in me couldn't like not work out.
Yeah.
So
I can't not
Yeah.
work out. I can't do it. I'll
Yeah.
go crazy.
yeah.
But
Okay, so since HYROX, I'm now coaching HYROX,
You
which
are.
is wild. Yeah. I had an interview with Peak Performance like the week we went to HYROX. And I was like, let me race. Let me see if I like it. And like by Saturday before we even raced, I was like, oh yeah, like we're doing the one in Dallas. Like I knew it was like still in our future. And so I agreed to coach because I feel like me learning how to coach it is also going to help us like come Dallas.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
so yeah, I have been doing like some of the workouts that I've been coaching and honestly they're kicking my butt. But yeah. So
Which workout do you walk into and you're like, oh God, here we go.
like the first 2 weeks after HYROX, I kind of was just like wishy-washy. I knew I wanted to get like my lifting back because I kind of stopped like lifting to train for HYROX, and so I knew I wanted to get some of my lifts back, and so I just played around for like 2 weeks. And so this week though is the first one where I'm like trying to like actually find detail. And so Monday I can't remember what I did Monday, but Tuesday
you did your first class though.
I did
Monday?
teach my first class Monday, yes. And then Wednesday, that class that I taught, I did like the actual workout of
Monday.
I did, the Monday's class I did on Wednesday myself. And so that was like my first one, and it was like burpees and lunges and assault bike and rowing. And you're doing like constant work for 1:45 seconds. And then like you get a 20-second rest and you trade. And I was like, I was pushing myself because that's what I want. Like I want to be, when we go to Dallas, like I want to be great.
Yeah.
Like we're going to work. Yeah. And so like I feel like the workouts now mean so much more. Like whatever we're going into, like yeah. Huh. And the burpees. Yeah. Okay, so has your mindset changed any, just like in a gym perspective or like a personal perspective since HYROX?
So in a gym perspective, I feel like coming out of HYROX, I had the same kind of idea as you as far as what training would look like after. So I have gone back to lifting. Since HYROX, I've done like a little bit of cardio, but in my lifting, in my normal split, I'm incorporating the stations here and there. So like I have ski-erged, have rowed. I've done the pull. I do the pulls and the pushes quite often, and we do lunges quite often. I haven't touched wall balls much right now, and I haven't touched. I've burpeed a little bit. I've burpeed for fun. Yeah, I haven't burpeed for sets. I've done it for fun. Yeah. But I have been lifting. I'm doing my normal split that I was doing before. And I told myself April, I'm going to start incorporating the cardio. Yeah. So this coming up week, I'm going to, I guess, what day is it? It's Thursday. Yeah. So this weekend and then Monday, I'll start throwing in laps. And yeah, I'm just going to throw them in there. And honestly, I'm really only like trying to put that back in right now. Like the stations are already in. I'm already very comfortable with them other than skier, but everything else I'm good with having them in as splits, but it's just the cardio that needs to
which I
Try more.
I'm trying to like actually heal my hip and leg area before we get to Dallas, and so I'm actually taking like another 3 to 4 weeks off of running and just seeing like what it's gonna do. I've been looked at by 2 different people, and it's nothing major. It's just something that like I have the time to sit it out, so the running is sitting out until. But by the time we get to Dallas, we should be running 20 to 25 miles a week.
Yeah, I think it sounds scary.
Yeah.
Because it is. But I think by that time, with the right mindset in the gym and just consistency and a lot of it, I'm kind of confident again.
Yeah,
like,
I think we're gonna shed time off for sure.
How can we not?
Yeah.
I really think we're gonna do like, I'm not gonna already say a time. I don't feel it. But like you said, I think 1 teens is like very doable.
Yeah.
We shed 3 minutes in 2 weeks. So I think if we really get a good handle on the runs and the breathing and everything,
it'll be
we'll
good.
Be in the 1 teens, maybe.
All right, you guys. The next HYROX in Texas is November 21st through the 23rd. It is a 3-day event, and it is in Dallas. If you're in San Angelo and looking to train, Peak Performance is the only gym here in San Angelo that is certified to teach HYROX. So come see me. I am teaching Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30. And we are going to cut to a commercial break. Giving a special shout out to our sponsor, Maximus Nutrition. If you are looking to boost your workout, whether that be, toning up or adding in that bulk, they can help you out with all the shakes, all the creatine, and all the protein, and so much more. You can find them over on Sunset Drive and Knickerbocker. Be sure to hit them up. And we are back. This deck of cards segment is sponsored by Training from the Ground Up and Crusaders Forge. Blue card.
Let's go. If you had to lose one of your 5 senses, which sense do you prefer to lose?
Mine would be my smell.
Yeah.
Like, take my smell. It might affect my taste a little bit, but I feel like it's so much... I don't know. It's less of an inconvenience to lose your smell.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, if you think about all the other ones, there's no way. There's no way I can lose my taste.
Yeah.
I love music too much to lose my hearing.
Yeah.
Can you even lose touch?
I don't know.
Just not feel anything.
Like lose sensory.
It'd be like numbness.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
There's no way. And then I have to see.
Yeah, because
smelling is like.
If you don't see and you don't hear, it changes your whole life trajectory. Like there are accommodations nowadays, and I feel like technology is getting far greater, but
it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is scary. It'd be like, close your eyes right now and this is what you get.
I don't know, I feel like I have thought about it before, where I'm just like, have my eyes closed, and I'm like, how could I do anything?
Yeah.
Like, I just can't.
You have to relearn life.
You have to relearn everything. You have to live off a different sense, because right now I feel like we do live off of sight. Like, I can see the depth of here. I can see where my water is. I can see when I drive. I live off my sight. The other things, I feel like, are just a little bit of like, oh, you can hear this. Like, enjoy this music. Enjoy this food.
Yeah.
I have to see.
Yeah.
I can't. Like, you would have to live off a different sense. And I don't know how. I've never had to.
Yeah.
I don't know how to switch that. I don't know how to adapt to that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Man.
It's crazy.
All right.
Goodbye, nose.
What is your favorite lift?
That one's tricky, because I feel like if I think of a back that I love right now, I'll then think of like a leg and different areas. Right now I'm loving face pulls. Seated face pulls on the cable tower.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just feel really good. I'm really stable and not like just sitting there. I don't have to like work on my balance, standing. Love those right now. Anything pull rowing, I'm a big fan of. I don't know. Oh my gosh, there is a core one though that kills my lower core. You have to like lay down. I posted a video on Instagram the other day. You like lay down, you do your 6 inches, right? But then you have a plate or a bag or whatever, and you have that above. So you're basically fully out and extended. And then you bring your knees up and in as you're pulling your weight up, and you place it onto your legs and then go back out, and then like another whole crunch in. And that's a great burn. It feels phenomenal. But those 2 face pulls and that one on my top. What are you doing? What's your favorite thing right now?
Typically I say hex bar. I don't know. I feel like hex bar has like a good like spot in my heart, but Peak has some different equipment than what like Crunch has, and so they have a T landmine, and I had the best time with that one yesterday. Like, it just felt so smooth and it felt great, and I just like the muscles it was working. And then it doesn't help that I recorded it, and the lighting just like,
yeah, it was so good.
so good. But
there's some equipment at TrueFit that's like very nice to use.
Yeah.
So definitely, there's a lot of equipment at TrueFit that makes you think mentally about what movements you're doing, rather than using, I don't know, I feel like a lot of other equipment that I've used is very assisted, and not assisted in the sense of it's like helping, but it's just assisted in the sense of like the actual equipment itself is like hardware. It's not too much like cable, like free movement, but I don't know. There's a lot of mental focus that goes into using some of the equipment over there. And it's very nice. Yeah.
Green card.
Best ice cream flavor and why? Every time you've answered this on this podcast this season, you have had a different answer. So I'm curious now what yours is and if it's going to change from the other 2 that it has been.
This one I'm going to go chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
I just remember as a kid getting like the tub, and like when you're scooping it out, you're like, oh, this one has cookie dough.
Yeah, or you see it and you're like digging them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good. I really like pistachio, man. I feel like that's a common answer on your I feel like people on
somebody
here,
has said it,
but I don't think I've met a lot of people like out in the world that really like enjoy it. But that one, or I like just classic vanilla, but I put like strawberries and some sort of like nut, so like a walnut or cashew or pecan, and put that in there with strawberries and like vanilla bean, and just give it a good mix, and it's just so good.
Yeah,
that one's more of a comfort homey one.
Yeah.
Blue card.
What is your idea of perfect happiness?
I think finding peace in the simplicity is key here. So I think perfect happiness is calm. And I think it's calm, it's safety. I think it's everyone like around you that you like love being content and happy and just like at a good spot. I don't know. That's a hard question. I feel like it differs as you go through life. But like right now, when I think of like what perfect happiness is to me, and like what that looks like, it looks like, my kids being happy, like not upset about anything, and even if it's just a little moment, like it's them like not arguing over a snack, it's them sitting on the couch like watching a movie together and just like there with like the candle on and the kitchen's clean. It's just a very calm peace. So I think those moments where I can just sit back and like look at my house and look at my family and look at the memories they're making, I'm like, okay, like this is nice. And I right now in the world, like I'm not thinking about the bills or my protein goal or work in the morning. Like I'm thinking about how they are just good. Yeah. And that just makes me like it just makes me feel happy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great one.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so I have been throwing this question around for a long time.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
This one is super. It's mind provoking.
Yeah. I like this question came up in season 3, and I had asked a few people there, and you are right. Perfect happiness does change over the course of your lifetime. Where I have gone with it right now is I do believe in a sense that like it is, you can be happy for like longevity. Like you can have longer bouts of happiness. But then you've got these moments where you're like a little more happy, right? And so like you do something exciting or like something happens and you're like, oh, this is happiness, you know? And so I'll give one for instance. Cade's episode will have came out by now. I recorded with a guy named Cade, and I'd never met this person, or I've met him, but like I don't know his story. And he's sitting across from me and he's sharing his story, and I am just like in awe of things that are coming out. Like this episode was so good to me. And so I like was like in this like high almost, like that the rest of that whole day.
Yeah.
Because for me, like that was a podcast win to be able to just like, this is like why I come. I come to like share these stories, and I had no idea I was going to get such a good story out of this person. And so it was just like, oh my goodness, I'm like really happy right now.
Yeah.
And so I think with like perfect happiness, like there are bouts where you like hit up there, and to me maybe that's like fulfillment. So like I fulfilled something,
Okay.
and I was there,
Yeah.
and it was like really happy. Am I going to drop down? Probably. I did, and it's back to like happy. But like I don't know, maybe perfect happiness is
That little
we
like,
hit it,
Yeah.
and now like I got to go back down.
Crossing the finish line.
Yeah, basically
That moment.
that was a great happiness moment.
That was
Exactly.
a highlight moment of happiness.
Yeah.
And then right after, a little bit of disappointment.
Yeah.
We kind of toned it back.
Yeah. And you can't live in that perfect happiness moment forever.
So something from another one of our episodes is like, if happiness, I don't want to live in a world where happiness is ordinary.
Yeah.
Was from another one of your episodes.
Yeah.
And that has stuck. That stuck with me, and it's true. Like, you can't sit here and think that happiness is going to be a 24/7 feeling that you have, because then like where is the like excitement to the happiness? Like, where is the top of the mountain to it? Like it's going to plateau.
Yeah.
So like you don't want to feel, I don't know, in the same state all the time.
Yeah.
You kind of, you have to, the cliche, you have to go through the rain, you know, to like get the flowers or get the, whatever it is.
See the rainbow in it.
Yeah. You have to kind of like go through the bad to appreciate the good moments.
Yeah.
So you have to choose happy. I'm learning so much from your podcast. Choose happiness is on there, and I have told so many people that since I've known, like, or since I've heard. Like, I'll talk to friends who are having bad days, or like one of my friends, she's going through like stuff right now with like she has to go to the hospital. It's just she's like going through just like medical issues, and I'm like talking with her about it daily, and just random people I see on socials too, just having like rough times or trying to like, it's so easy to just pop in and be like, hey, like, I hope you're doing okay. Remember, like, you have to seek out happiness, choose happiness. So like, I don't know, I'm learning so much, and I feel like I'm just like spreading so much of what I'm learning from your podcast, like around. I've told people about it, but I just think I'm getting so much from it. So,
as like somebody who's been on this journey, like even though like you and I are like closer, like it's still like it's almost mind-blowing for me, honestly, because like I love doing this. I love showing up. I love sitting across from people and hearing their story, but like I don't know, I just never realized like how much of an impact it was like actually.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. There's so much positivity coming out of it, and these cards are really cool because you have the balance, right? Like, you have kind of like where we started the gym, and then you've got the fun part, but then you have life. So it really has you thinking about fun, all this positive kind of more ice cream level thing. But then you think about like perfect happiness, and like you have to dig a little bit in your own mind. But yeah,
it's interesting.
I love
All right, pink card.
What are we on? Okay. Do you take creatine or any other supplements to assist in muscle growth or fitness related abilities?
Yeah.
We have this little saying in our house right now, the pre, and the pro. So like the creatine, your pre-workout, and your protein. And that's been like the focus of nutrition right now. That protein goal, I'm hating it.
That was something you and I both agreed that like after HYROX race that we were going to like start looking into like nutrition and like starting to take it a little more seriously, because the amount of muscle gain that I gained in 3 months of training, to me it was kind of like, if I actually like took care of it and like made sure I was hitting those like proteins and like taking the creatine, I'm gonna look completely different by the time we get to Dallas. And are we going for that? Absolutely.
Have you noticed a difference already? Like, have you done anything differently in this past month?
I think I've increased my calories. I wasn't tracking prior to HYROX. I was just making sure we were hitting protein, but I wasn't like tracking like carbs and whatnot. I am now tracking, and I feel like I'm in some of the best shape of like my life. And like I'm seeing like the numbers are doing really well, and then like I've always said I wanted CrossFit abs, and like they're coming. Like they're not full blown out CrossFit abs yet, but like they're etching, and I don't know. I just, even like my shoulders and my arms, like they look
God, your
different.
arms look crazy. This whole number.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, what the heck? I was like, you look crazy good.
If I can train and take the creatine, get my protein in with like protein powders, like, or just like actual meat, like actually eating, and then like being able to like maintain the energy level. If I can train efficiently with the energy and the carbs, and I can keep stacking the muscle, I'm gonna be beastly.
Yeah.
And I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
My protein's been spot on. I'm tracking, I'm upping it. Calories.
How much protein are you eating?
My goal is like, I'll be happy if I surpass 120.
Yeah. I've
been hitting like 150, 180, and it's just so nice. We're tracking it, numbers, and like we're doing that. I've been also kind of changing the way I eat based off of what workout I'm going to be doing. So like I'll carb up on like my leg days, and then I'll like kind of go back a little bit on like my arms, or like just like any sort of push day. But I've been doing that, and then I've been more consistent with my creatine. It's there every single day no matter what now. Sometimes back then, before, I would like miss it and not really think twice about it, but now I'm like, gotta have it, gotta need it. And then I need the pre-workout. It gets me ready, it gets me there. So you gotta do pre-workout.
So I did a HYROX workout the other day without pre-workout. That was the one from Wednesday, and I was like, that was so hard.
Why? Did you
because
forget
I ran out, and I was like, I didn't have any, and I didn't have time to go by Maximus to get it, and so I was like, I am just gonna do it without. And I like, there were times where I was like, I just want to quit right now. But it's what you gotta do.
For HYROX, I added in electrolytes.
Oh yeah.
For
Electrolytes are key if you guys are going to race.
Yes. So definitely add those in.
Yeah. All right. A genie grants you 3 wishes. What do you wish for?
Can I say more wishes?
No.
Oh God, you go first. I need a little bit of time.
Okay. I would request a personal chef come cook all my meals for me, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, please. I will pay for the groceries, or you know what? No. Okay, let's go personal chef, and then my groceries, I have like an endless supply of the foods I need. And then we're going a wardrobe that like constantly updates, because we gotta look good.
You gotta have it.
Yeah. Gym, podcast, let me look good.
Yeah. I think this one's tough. Okay, I'm gonna do more in the moment things.
Okay.
This genie's only here for a little bit of time.
Okay.
I want my grass done in my house. So
Yeah.
the genie will give me perfect grass.
Yeah.
That never dies.
Yeah.
Stays great. That's for sure a must. I want a stocked fridge all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And then, God, I don't know. My third one's tricky. I don't know. Oh no. The more wishes wish doesn't apply here.
Can't waste a wish.
I can't waste a wish.
No.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think this would be so difficult. I'm trying to think of something like for me.
Yeah.
You know, not
Yeah.
mommy who wants the fridge done,
Yeah.
and not mommy who wants the grass done.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, every time I went to go put my hair up, it did what I wanted.
Oh.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And my arms don't get tired.
Yeah.
Done.
It's just like a
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
so easy in the morning.
Maybe you just need a hairdresser, like a personal
A
hairdresser.
person- I want to just look at a picture and then be like, okay,
Yeah, it's there.
and it's done.
One day that's gonna be a thing.
There we go.
Scary.
Yeah, I'm happy with that wish now. Like, that'd be nice.
All right, we have time to pull more of each color. Was it
We
me?
just
Oh,
did
it's you. Blue.
green. Okay. What is something you have experienced that changed your life?
Oh, I'm actually gonna take this one and say HYROX.
Okay.
I don't know if you would have asked me before I had asked you to even do HYROX, even if we hadn't have done HYROX, my life would look a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably just still be lifting and teaching ride, but I don't know. I feel like it changed something inside of me mentally too with my fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you say that your mindset on having goals before HYROX is different than your mindset after HYROX? Have you always been very goal driven? Because you're a very goal driven person.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you make one, you stick to it, you're super ambitious. So I am curious because HYROX is a massive goal and it's one you work for towards for a long time. So I'm curious if your mindset on goals before has changed since deciding I'm going to do HYROX. Take 6 months before HYROX.
I think it just switched something in me in a sense of there's potential here.
Mm-hmm.
I am about to be 30, and I've told you from the very beginning of this, I'm so excited to be 30.
Mm-hmm.
But now actually competing and seeing what it takes, a lot of our training prior, they were mental.
Mm-hmm.
You're dying, you're ready to be done, but you also know that we do have this thing coming up. And so it's you can't stop, you can't quit.
Yeah.
And now that we've actually experienced it, my mindset is oh, I could be so much better. I could add these things in. I've been watching, I told you, Sarah Sigmund's daughter.
Yeah.
And she is fit. And it's just okay, she's had to start somewhere in her journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's crazy to think that we've barely just tipped the iceberg of our HYROX journey.
Yeah.
And I'm even coaching it now.
Yeah.
And
we did 4.5 now months
Yeah.
of this.
It changed my whole trajectory fitness wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's such a huge thing to get out of it. It's not just a race. And I think you don't know it until you buy your ticket and you're training for it and you do it, where you're I had to work for that.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. What about you?
So I would have to probably say, so Lincoln was a preemie, and he was born at 31 weeks and a day. And a month before that, I was in the hospital for a week because I had a infection in my blood. I had staph A in my blood, so I went septic. So I think all of that, having I was in the ICU for a while. They thought Lincoln was about to come into the world at 27 weeks. It was terrifying. I got like a different view on life. And then Lincoln being so early, he was in the NICU for 27 days. So we were there all the time. And I think that changed my life in the way, okay, so I went from like not mom, right? And then I have Lincoln, and now I'm a mom. So it made me look at being a mom in a weird way to start off with. Like I was very, he was tiny, you know, like I already was like, okay, I'm so happy I was already very grateful because he almost like, it was scary, you know, at 27 weeks, I didn't know if he was going to be like, okay. They were telling me might have to deliver him, and that's terrifying.
Yeah.
So when he was finally here and finally out of the hospital, I was just already like, oh, like you're healthy, like you're okay. So I think that completely switched like my mindset, and it made me like, every time I look at him now, and even if he's being like crazy or wild, I look at him, I'm just like, I'm happy you're like good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're okay. Even though like nothing's happened to him. Like
Yeah.
he's okay. He hasn't gotten like crazy sick or anything. And the NICU experience was great. It was just a long stay. There were hard times, but he's okay. So, but just like looking, I'm like, okay, I'm just like, I don't know. It changed me to be like very grateful for the human that's in front of me. This little human that I have.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one.
Go Lincoln.
Go Lincoln.
What are we doing? Pink?
Yes, pink.
Yeah.
Which muscle group is your favorite to work out?
Right now I'm going to say my back.
Yeah.
Right now I'm going to go back. I love pool. Any type of row is not rowing.
Yeah.
Any type of row.
Yeah.
For like a cable pool or I love like some single arm. So I do drop set for all of my pools if I can. And just those drop sets, I end with single arm stuff, and it's just the best feeling.
Yeah.
I feel so strong.
Yeah. Mine, I'm going to have to say core.
I was going to guess
I've been working core like religiously, and I did mention earlier like they're building, and I can see them, and like other people are like calling them out, so yeah, like all that work is paying off.
Yeah. We're doing it.
Yeah. All right, last card.
We're creating the ultimate sandwich. What goes on it?
I answered this on the last one. I'm thinking like ice cream sandwich right now. An ice cream sandwich sounds delightful.
What a plot twist. I was not ready for that. Oh, I wasn't ready.
But like maybe with like, I don't know, graham cracker instead of like, and so then you've got like your ice cream. You could even go like vanilla ice cream and a little bit of chocolate ice cream. So you've got, let's say like if we're making like an ice cream s'more. Yeah. Maybe like,
so good.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe instead of like chocolate ice cream, it's like chocolate like syrup or something. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like biting it, and then it starts like ooze out of the side.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So good. So good. So there's actually a sandwich that I have in mind, because right now it is still like, sounds so good, and I think it's perfect. There's a sandwich at 01. I think it's called the 01. It's on this ciabatta bread, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the right bread name, but it's on this bread, and the bread has like red like chili flakes kind of in it, so it's a little spicy, but then it's like toasted, and that bread has like this honey glaze on the inside, and then it has like pepperoni, like salami kind of meat, and I think it's like a fresh mozzarella, and oh my God.
It sounds so good.
It's like savory, it's sweet, you have a little kick from that chili flake. Oh my God. It's so good. And that right now is like, that is the sandwich for me. That is the sandwich.
And I'm hungry. Yeah.
I'm always hungry. I could eat anytime.
All right, you guys. This deck of cards segment is sponsored by Training from the Ground Up and Crusaders Forge. I'm going to ask you 4 questions that I ask every single guest. And my first one is, what is your current biggest struggle?
Sleep.
Sleep.
I know that my body needs a lot more sleep than it's getting. I know my muscles need a lot more sleep than they're getting to recover. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm up at 3:15 to get ready to be at work by 4-ish. And then Lincoln just doesn't sleep. So on the 2-year-old just not wanting to fall asleep. He sleeps, but I mean, he wakes up. He doesn't want to go to sleep. So it's late nights, interrupted. I've been living off of very minimal sleep for a long time that I know it's not doing anything beneficial. I know in the long run it's not good. I need more of sleep a lot.
It'll come. He'll eventually sleep through the night. It'll come.
He will. And then people are like, oh, you'll miss it. And I'm like, maybe, but like resting, no.
Yeah.
Both y'all are like,
no.
No.
Kratzy was the same way. She didn't sleep through the night until she was 2.5. And we were up like 2 to 3 times a night. And I was like ready to pull my hair out.
Yeah. For the first 1.5 years, Lincoln woke up every 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
For 1.5 years.
Yeah.
I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now he can talk back. Now he doesn't just cry back. Now he can talk back and say, I don't want to. Or I'm jumping. I'm like, no, you're sleeping,
lay down.
Please.
Yeah. It'll come. It'll come. All right. What is your proudest moment to date? What is something you've done that you're proud of?
Graduating nursing school through COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Weirdest transition of school, weirdest school experience. But second semester out of 4, everything shut down because of COVID. So semesters 2 and 3 were all on my own. Sure, I had like slides and stuff, but I didn't have an instructor keeping me disciplined. I didn't have a schedule. It was all like, do the work, here it is, submit it when you're done, and get ready for the final. There were like online simulations. It was just learning pharmacology, learning hundreds of medications and everything about them by yourself is nearly the hardest thing I've mentally ever had to do. So I think that is probably personally my proudest thing that I did it.
Take that one.
Yeah. It was rough.
All right. If you could give anybody honorable mention, who would you choose and why?
I have a cousin. Her name is Kylie, and she is 4 years younger than me, but she's an absolute inspiration. We grew up together. Our family is very close and tight-knit, so we were growing up together. But she recently moved to Dallas on her own. So we all lived with our family in San Antonio. She went to Austin for a little bit with her friends, lived there. But she recently moved by herself to Dallas. She doesn't know anyone in Dallas. So, and she did it so smoothly. She planned out she got a job interview over there, a transfer from her job here to there. Her timing with her move and her new start date was spot on. I think it was just a huge adult thing for her, and for her to just have the courage to pick up and move where she knows no one, but she's always dreamed of the city. I can't commend her enough. Yeah. She's amazing. So amazing props. She did great, and I'm so proud of her.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right, last question. If you could give advice to anybody listening, what is the best advice you have?
Oh, set your goals high. Don't set your goals to be something that you can accomplish in a couple days. Sure, make minor goals, but you need to have the big ones. You need to have the ones that you're working on. It gives another purpose to how you move in life. It gives another purpose to the way you look at things, having something to move forward, especially a goal that's tough, that you want to do so bad, but maybe it's going to be hard or it's going to take a long time, but just have it. So you need to see it, you need to have it, you need to write it down, you need to make things in your daily life towards that goal. Give yourself a little extra purpose, you know, you can have bills to pay and that's my purpose, or I can have dinner to cook and that's my purpose, but make a goal that's beneficial for you as a person to work towards, and keep that for you. Reach your moment of happiness, because when you get that goal, when you reach your goal, there's a guaranteed moment of happiness at the end of that, that you're going to be on the top of the mountain and it's going to be there and you're going to have worked for it. So that little spot at the end where you did it after so long too. You did it. Great
advice. Yeah. I was not expecting that one. I'm okay.
I wasn't either.
I needed to hear that one.
I wasn't either. I was going to come in here and be take chances. But I was no, you know what? Take chances on the big goals.
Yeah.
Do them.
Yeah, a part of me is like, I need to go home and like write them out.
You have to make those inspiration boards that people talk about. I told Scott, I said, and it's a big plan, but like I said, like not big plan, but future, but 2026, I want to make that year about our house. So I want to make it, it's a new home. It's white walls. I want to make it homey. I want different colored walls. I want different colored pillows. I want fixtures on the walls. I want a cool, unique, homey, comfy house.
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, 2026, let's make that like our house year. Let's do little things every month, paint a wall. Or like every month focus on getting like that wall decorated. Just do something.
Yeah.
So like that's my goal for 2026 is just to make my house like this really cool, unique, cozy, retro-y like home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we have talked your ear off for far too long. We are almost to that 2-hour mark. Do you have any last words?
Good job, first of all.
Thanks.
I'm obsessed with all of this. I was telling you before, just seeing it all and being here is really awesome. So first of all, just thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And everything that you're doing. And yeah, without you, like, I think my mindset would be, I don't want to say bland because I don't want to like talk down on who I was, but yeah, let's grow, man.
Let's grow. Yeah. Thank you for committing to this with me.
Yeah, it's been a blast and I can't wait to just
do it again.
Keep doing it.
Yeah. All right, you guys. That concludes this episode. I am giving you homework this time. If you listen to this episode, please like it. Okay? I've given you homework to go subscribe. Now, I need you to like the video. That way it is pushing us out into the algorithm.
Here we go.
Yeah. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok is slowly making its way back. So if you want to follow us over there, that's cool too. And a special shout out to our sponsors, Training from the Ground Up, Crusaders Forge, and Maximus has all those smoothies. So hop on over there and get yourself right.
I'm gonna go get one. That sounds great.
Yeah. Have a beautiful day, friends. Bye. Hey, you guys, we wanted to give one last shout out to Maximus Nutrition for helping make this podcast possible. Go hit them up for one of their delicious shakes. My favorite is coconut cream pie. They can hook you up with all of your protein needs too. You can find them on Sunset Drive and Knickerbocker. Go crush the day, you guys.